I think some data is showing that 25% of Black and brown folks, do not seek out care because they're afraid of getting discriminated against. And that's a real problem.
She is an amazing award-winning journalist and expert in Black maternal health. She is the founder of the recently launched Irth App, like the word birth, but the B is dropped for bias. Irth is a Yelp-like review and rating platform for Black and brown women and birthing people to find and leave reviews of their OBGYNs, birthing hospitals, and pediatricians. Kimberly Seals Allers, welcome to Come Back with Erica Cobb.
Thank you for having me, Erica. I'm so excited.
When you're a woman or, a family that wants to expand your family, or you're an expecting mother, that should be one of the happiest moments in your life. But what I'm encountering as a woman who hopes to have a child someday, but also a woman who's friends with so many Black and brown women who are either pregnant now or have just given birth. And a part of their story is always this anxiety. How do you feel that you can reconcile for an expecting mother, someone who wants to have a child, that, there is joy in this birth story as well?
Yeah, I think that's important. In fact, I recently started a podcast called Birthright that specifically focuses on positive Black birth stories because I became deeply concerned. I remember writing about this in an article years ago that the doom and gloom narrative that was permeating Black maternal health, particularly in mainstream media, negative statistics, always we're dying, was causing harm to our bodies, right? To our psyche, to our souls. And that's not okay. We get DMs on Irth all the time. People are desperate. People are asking about writing wills before they give birth. I mean, it's ridiculous and it's unacceptable. And I remind people that fear has been used to control Black people since we got here. In fact, that's how they got us here, was with fear. And so we really need to reject this narrative. We focus on positive Black birth stories on the Birthright podcast, but also for people to understand they do have resources, right? And some of those are things that we can do. Some of those are digital tools like Irth, a way that you can check in with your community before you choose a provider, before you go to the hospital, and that we have to become really like super vigilant consumers when we're in this process. And that's really what we have to do.
Tell us where we can find the Birthright podcast.
Oh, you can find Birthright podcast anywhere you grab your podcast, like where I grab your podcast, and you can learn more at birthrightpodcast.com. But we're on all the good players. And, it's been a really exciting journey because I think joy is also a tool that we need to use. And I think we as Black people know that we can never give that up, right? We have to use it as part of our superpowers and as much of an important tool that we bring to all of our fights for social justice and racial equity across the spectrum. So I'm really excited about that. And I want people to know it is possible because right now they think that when we die, there are lessons, right? So when you die, everybody's going to be analyzing, there's going to be a report, there may be a maternal mortality review board. But with Irth and with Birthright, I say we can learn from the living, actually. Yeah. And I don't want any more of my sisters to die. And so we want to use the data in Irth from the living to help hospitals do better. That's the work we do on the back end. And then we want to highlight positive stories like we do on Birthright so people can say, oh, she had a good experience. Who was there? What did she do? What was different? So that we have those lessons too, not just always learning from the dire and the adverse at events that we don't want to happen.
When you said that you looked for the best hospitals that had the highest rankings, you asked your peers and colleagues, but they also didn't necessarily reflect you as a Black woman. And I think when we're looking for anything, we're always looking to get the best we possibly can according to what everyone says. So the Irth app is so amazing because you are asking for more information from the people utilizing the app. But I really want to encourage my comeback community, Black and brown women who have had experiences in hospitals, healthcare, in the birthing experience. If you're looking for a way to be an advocate in some way, this is a really simple way to start to process the change. Because if you give 5 minutes of your time and you actually put your information in and review your experience, good, bad, indifferent, that's going to help someone else. So explain to us exactly what information you need.
Yeah, and thank you so much for saying that. We always say, search reviews for yourself, but leave reviews for your community, right? Like we're going to have to save ourselves as Black women and birthing people, as we often have to do, right? And we can't wait for this system that we've been asking and asking and asking for far too long to change. And so I really ask your comeback community, and we also accept reviews from fathers and partners. So tell your man to leave a review. We accept reviews from doulas. So that we can have this 360 perspective. And so when you go into the app, we'll ask a little bit of questions about you. There are a number of questions that are not mandatory, but they do help us so that we can create our goal, which is being able to filter. So my ultimate vision is for Irth is that you will be able to go in and say, hey, I'm a Black woman, I'm not married, this is my age group, this is my gender identification, my sexual orientation, my income, and I want to see reviews from people like me, right? And so we ask questions so that we can have that kind of user information. I would like to remind people that Irth is a nonprofit project, so we do not sell and never will sell any of your information. We are really just here to serve our community and push for a systemic change to end racism in maternity care. So, we work really hard to make sure information is safe. So ask some questions about you, and then we'll ask who you are on this experience. Like I said, we accept reviews from the birthing person, the partner, the doula, even a nurse midwife. After you tell us who you are, then we'll ask you what type of review you would like to leave, whether that's a prenatal, the birthing, or your postpartum appointment, or even a pediatric appointment for your baby up to baby's first year. So we cover the babies because we can't forget about the babies. So we have reviews for that as well. And then, we ask about what happened. Did you feel listened to? Did you feel respected? Was your partner respected? We're not here to necessarily count C-sections and episiotomies and all the medical metrics. We're here to know that you felt respected. What types of things did you experience dismissiveness of your pain levels, lack of eye contact, your requests for help were refused or ignored? Oh my goodness, physical privacy violated. Do you feel like something happened to you that you did not consent to? Consent being a big issue for us. So many things happen and people didn't even know that they happened, that it happened to them. So these are the type of questions we ask, as well as asking for overall reviews. When you're leaving a birth review, we will also specifically ask about the doctors, nurses, and lactation consultants, right? Because that's really, really important. I'm also a co-founder of Black Breastfeeding Week, and we need to reduce breastfeeding disparities in our community as well. So we want to know what's going on with breastfeeding support, because we find that many times the reasons why Black women are not supported is also because of racist ideas and stereotypes that have traveled in our community. And so we ask those important questions. And you're right, it is slightly longer. It is slightly longer than if you were leaving a restaurant review, but we hope that the extra 5 minutes is worth it in terms of helping your community and then helping us to use our collective power to push for change.
Kimberly Seals Allers. Now remember, it's Irth like birth. The B is silent because the B is for bias. So exactly.
We get rid of that B. That B is out of here.
Exactly. I so appreciate your light and your expertise. I know so many people in my comeback community, this is going to resonate with them personally or by proximity. I know that it has personally resonated with me, and I thank you so much, sis.
Thank you, sis, for having me. I appreciate you so much.